I am Israel. This is Amber. This is To Win Begins Within. This is men's relationship wisdom. How to attract, identify, and maintain quality relationships. And the topic of this video is how most intimate relationships end up. Men and women don't really make relationships a decision process. They just
Mm.
kind of let destiny happen
Like,
instead
right?
of
They go
making their
with the
destiny.
flow and
Yeah,
end
they
up
don't,
somewhere.
because they kind of it's kind of like life happens to them. They don't make life happen.
Gotcha.
Is usually what happens. So
Mm.
usually, two people they see some interest or some chemistry. They get together. One thing leads to another. They're kind of dating. It's kind of steady. They're kind of like
Mm-hmm.
okay, and then they get comfortable, and then boom, something happens. They have a kid, or they take the next step, and they get into kind of like this situationship, and then they realize after the magic's gone. It's like, do I really like them or not, or this? And then
I can't remember when
it's
I did like
too
them.
it's too uncomfortable to break up, so you kind of stay, and then before you know it, years pass, and it's like, well, it's always been this way, and then you're like, man, I just if I could go back, I would do things a lot different because after you think about it, you'd be like, I don't really like this person, and it takes a
Sadly.
while, and then you're kind of like, holy smoke, and you start resenting. You start. It's easier to blame the person for the
Mm-hmm.
things not having
You
your
become
life
a
that you
victim.
want.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like they become more of a situationship. You get caught up in one thing after another than actually a relationship that you wanted.
Yeah.
So why do you think that is?
Well, because I don't think a lot of people do a lot of due diligence on the front end. They don't put a lot of time and effort trying to figure out what it is that they want in life for themselves, let alone what they want in life for some, like, a partner of someone else. So they're just kind of like, oh, he's cute or she's pretty, and
That's enough.
ooh,
Yeah.
I'm a little horny, you know? And like you said, and then boop, something happens.
So this is what I call relationship slow sand. So a guy meets a girl, and guys don't get a lot of offers from a girl. So one times they don't have many options, and like, oh, this one's interested. Fuck it, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gotten laid. I haven't had any sex, so I'll take it. And they're kind of like, finally, I get something. You
Mm-hmm.
get some breathing room, and you develop a relationship. You're getting somewhat a consistent sex. The girl's trying to convince you to stay with her by giving you consistent sex until she can really grab her what she's really after, which is a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you get comfortable, you get used to each other, and it becomes steady. And then one thing to another, they start moving in,
Mm-hmm.
or they have a kid,
Mm-hmm.
and then bam, and then one thing leads to another. So it's really like guys, they sell themselves short. They really didn't stand. Sometimes they didn't have the patience because they want to experience that sexual release.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is the emotion is what drives you there, the chemistry. It's the emotion that
Mm-hmm.
leads you into that relationship, and that relationship becomes into a situationship.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder. That's why I call it relationship quicksand. It's hard to get out.
Slow sand.
Relationship slow sand. You get into it slowly,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's hard to get out. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
situationship that's created through kids, shared finances, moving in together. You get used to each other. You
Mm-hmm.
get comfortable.
You're like, oh, to go back out there, I have to lose weight. I have to get eat better. Oh, I have to go find my own place.
That's right.
Like all those other things. It's like, do I really want to go do that for a new
It's more.
experience? I'll
Let's
just
just
stick with this one.
yeah. You endure the pain than actually doing the change
Mm-hmm.
is more of an expense.
Yeah.
So what happens is after this disillusion fades, it's really caused by emotional.
Mm-hmm.
So the emotion fades and the logic stays. So what happens is the disillusion is the idea of being with this person and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be great. But that fades because you really see the real person. When you were dating somebody in the beginning, it's the representative, it's the best version of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
Put on my,
usually it starts going
what
down.
is it? My best foot forward,
That's
right? Put my
right.
best foot forward, and
And
then
then,
eventually the second one catches up.
that's right. Exactly. So the real person catches up, the
Mm-hmm.
real person, and you're like, man, I don't really like this person. And the
Mm-hmm.
girl's like, well, I don't really like this person either, but well, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
But
that's when
here
the
we
logic
are.
comes up. This is who we really are. So after that, what happens is when the guy's in the relationship, she moved in. That's the leverage that she has.
Mm-hmm.
So in certain states, now she's
Common
entitled
law.
for common law are alimony. Well, that's one. Another one that she does, another leverage is has a kid. So a lot of people have kids, they're not married. So they move in together. That's the first lever of leverage. The second one is having their kids or having a kid from them. Or sometimes they have a kid and then they move in together. And the third one is, well, I might as well get married. That's 3 levers of leverage. So slowly you're passing over leverage to the
Power.
girl. And after a certain time in the relationship, she's going to blame you for not having the things that she thought she was going to have, and you didn't make her happy. So what she is going to do is take advantage of the power that she has through the leverage, and she is going to take initiative, control the relationship, because she can divorce her ass and take half. She can have alimony if she's entitled to it, and she gets a check. So it's kind of like,
For the child
do I
support.
deal with your shit or make you leave and then take half your shit and get a subscription? You pay me for the kids.
And then I go live my best life with
Exactly.
the children.
So that's, she pulls on those levers, and that's what usually happens in relationships.
Yep.
This is the most case scenario what happens. So that's what most relationships are. What I tell men is don't give her that leverage. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're at her mercy, where you're dependent that she is going to be a good person and not take advantage of you. That's why a lot of people, even the fathers, recommend to the woman, get your own job, make your own money so you're not dependent on the guy. So that's what I recommend men.
Men.
Don't put yourself in a situation, don't commit, don't have kids, don't move in, so you're not in a situation where you depend on her good behavior.
On her mercy.
So this, it's like you don't want to trust anybody because anybody with power abuse you. So that's what you want to do, is not put yourself in a vulnerable position. Girls always want to have insurance.
Yep.
That's why they get a guy. And they always have their hypergamous natures have to have plan B, plan C, plan D.
Just in case.
Just in case. So you need to have that same insurance plan. You need to have insurances. Well, I'm not going to have kids because she might just want child support. I don't want to move in because she might want alimony. And I don't want to marry her because she wanted to divorce and take half my shit.
Yeah.
So the insurance plans is not to do that. So if you take a woman's strategy, that's what you should do.
Yes.
And that's because most relationships in that way, you need to plan for the worst and hope for the best.
Yes.
That's what women do.
And then another thing too is that there's a lot of men out there that kind of are like, well, I don't really have much now, so even if we divorce, she's not going to take anything. But yet you're like, well, first of all, it's kind of like, well, how old are you? Because if you're young, you don't have much, but over time you will acquire much, most likely, because that is what men do. They are producers, and they will build an empire if they have the fortitude to do it.
They underestimate their success in life.
Exactly. So you might not have much now, but in the future you might have much. So be conscious of that with who you welcome into
We have
your
another
life.
video that talks about the disillusionment with marriage, that men fall into the trap of those things and the reasons why.
Yes.
Let us know what you guys think. Men, please share your experiences in the comments so other men can learn from your wisdom or your pain so they don't go through the same situation. Thank you. Subscribe, share it to somebody that you think can get benefit from it.
We appreciate it. Thank you.